Jake Scott's getting it. He sent me the 8-mile run. I mean, you know, always reach out.
We live there. Yeah, we moved there. Yeah, right downtown. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, yeah.
the magic shirt. It was awesome.
Lauren, I didn't remember any of it. It was like a patio or something.
Washington College Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So thank you all for coming. My name is Thad Moore. I'm the Director of Athletics here at Washington College. We're going to have a few speakers and then we're going to get into the induction ceremony. But I always like to start this evening off about thanking the people that made this possible. So, because oftentimes towards the end of the night, I rush it and I don't give them the due credit that they deserve. So all of this wouldn't be possible without the Hall of Fame committee. So if we didn't have the Hall of Fame committee members, please stand up and be recognized. It's also a fun time to recognize all current, the ones being inducted tonight. You don't get to stand just yet, it's not official, but all current Hall of Famers, please stand up and be recognized. I'm not going to call a former tennis coach out, but he didn't stand up either time. So, hey, Doc Wyman.
This is a good girl.
And then, obviously, Alumni Relations Office, Heidi Pierce, and all of her staff do an amazing job with the outreach and registration. Mark Dykeman, Advancement, Susie Chase, Matt Franklin, all of their staff as well. It wouldn't be possible without doing this event, so thank you. At this time, though, I would like to have a moment of silence. The Hall of Fame Committee and Washington College did lose a prestigious alum earlier this year. Basil Wachowski passed away in July. So if we could just have a moment of silence in remembrance of that. Thank you. Okay, so first up, it's my pleasure to introduce from the class of 1969, the chairman of the Hall of Fame Committee and Hall of Fame member, George Buckless. George.
Thank you, Ted. First of all, I'd like to welcome
That's you here?
inductees, families, friends, coaches, Hall of Fame members, to a very special evening. You're entering quite a legacy at the school. Most of us have heard of the Coach Kipler, if you will. Back in the early 1900s, if men played sports at Washington College, you played for Coach Kipler. In addition to coaching everything that was played at Washington College, Coach was the commissioner of the Eastern Shore Professional Baseball League. In addition to that, he was president of the Chestertown National Bank. So, Coach, I had an opportunity, my last 2 years playing baseball here, Coach Kipler assisted Coach Athey. And those of you that knew Coach Athey will realize that he was probably one of the finest gentlemen I ever met in my life. And what a great opportunity it was to play for a gentleman like Coach Athey, because he really set the stage. He, in his own way, he was a great recruiter. He was a great recruiter because of just his personality, his energy, and reaching out. Now, we have representatives here, and we're going to be honoring national championship teams in lacrosse and tennis. And I will say, one of the most unusual recruiting opportunities that I've ever heard was Fred Wyman. He and Holly basically recruited our tennis program to really go to that national level from this little bunk college on the Eastern Shore. But Fred, for some reason, was able to recruit international players. And a good friend of mine, Peter Mallard, was recruited along with a fellow named Larry Gieber from South Africa. And they came over, and they were All-Americans here at Washington College. Well, when Fred, I don't know how Fred got in touch with them. Maybe he read, he saw the films, or whatever the case may be, but he recruited them to come to Washington to play tennis. Well, Fred went up. They got on, neither one of them have ever been here in the United States. They got on the plane, they flew into Kennedy Airport. Fred went over to pick them up, and they're driving back down. Now, first of all, I'm convinced that Fred probably told them, "You're coming to Washington to play tennis, and I'll have a chance to introduce you to the president." Well, they're coming down the Eastern Shore and walking. They're going through all these little small towns, and they're looking around. And, whoa, can you imagine living in these small towns? So they come over to Chester River, and Peter and Larry, you know, they're looking for the Capitol. They're looking for the Washington. Well, evidently they had a little bit of a jolt when they realized that Chestertown was not Washington, D.C., but they called up at the school, and the history is what it is. The tennis, the lacrosse program obviously has had a tremendous history here. I've been surrounded by lacrosse players all my life. Dr. Jager drives me nuts. But the one thing that when I was here, we were fifth in the country my sophomore year in lacrosse, behind Army, Navy, Maryland, and Hopkins. So I used to get a lot of heat. Who plays baseball? You know, 9 of the 10 starters were in my fraternity, so I really got a lot of heat. And I didn't know. I told him, look, if any of you guys could hit a curveball, you wouldn't be playing lacrosse. You know? So, I mean, I don't know if that's totally true. But to give you an idea of the legacy, and I think this is the key, baseball, for instance, they had a fellow named David Zierfoss, class of 1895. He was the first major leaguer to come out of Washington College. He played between 1896 and 1905, had a great major league career, college career. They're not real sure he ever attended any classes, but back in the early 1900s, that wasn't a major problem, you know. In tennis, again, to give you a little bit of the legacy, there's a lady named Jean Harshaw Lesko, class of 1937. Well, to my knowledge, she was the first lady to play on the men's team, and she played 2 years on the men's team. She was also hockey, basketball, the best in the era. So, you know, you go back over the last, 140 years or whatever the case may be, and you can see the legacy that we have. And right now, it is tougher to get in the Hall of Fame than ever before. We have a tremendous women's programs. Give you an idea, I think we have 8 men's programs, 10 women, and 3 co-eds. We had this year, we have 7 coming into the Hall of Fame, and 5 are women. So it's been a tremendous advancement in women athletics here at Washington College. The last thing I'd like to say, and I said this when I went in 100 years ago, but for all of you out there that have played sports over your lifetime, or coaching, or have grandchildren, whatever the case may be, you are leaders in the community. These kids need you more than ever before, as far as role models, as far as coaching, taking your time to make a difference in these kids' lives. And I would only suggest that look at the opportunities within your community and look at the kids that really, really need you and step forward, because believe me, they need you more now than ever before. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce the president of Washington College, Mike Sosalsa. Mike.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is always such a special event. One of the things that has not changed about Washington College throughout the generations is just the zeal and the vigor that we pursue athletics at this college. It is part of our DNA in such a powerful way, and that every year that I'm here, I learn more about the storied legacy of our college on the playing fields and the courts, even in the swimming pool, Phil Quick and everybody else. We are really terrific in all of these ways. So this has been really one of the most joyful events to be a part of. And to me, when I look around the room and see all of you here, and hear all of the great stories. It just becomes a tangible reminder for me of the strength and the long-standing importance of the bonds that are created inside generations and in between generations through Washington College athletics. For decades, student athletes have been a part of the backbone of this campus. Our athletes, as you know, excel not just in their sports. They're learning and they're practicing the vital skills of tenacity and effort and grit and resilience. Those are things that characterize our student athletes. And I'm always so proud to say that word, student athlete, because that is what our students are. They're also more than that. They are student leaders on campus as well. They do things like, right now, our student athletes are spearheading the Get Out the Vote efforts for this fall's elections. They serve as officers in honor societies, and they provide tutoring to their fellow students. And in the community, they are busy people. They are high achievers in all of their studies, as well as their sports and in their volunteer activities. And when they do that, they are elevating Washington College each and every day. So honoring the 6 distinguished alumni that are with us tonight, it is clear that this kind of athletics culture, the student athlete at Washington College, this has been the way it's been for years. And their success, it's also clear, doesn't stop at graduation. Each one of you who's being honored here tonight, you have continued to make this college deeply proud. And we are so happy to be able to recognize and celebrate your accomplishments, not just while you're on campus, but also in life afterwards, as we enjoy this dinner together tonight. So I just want to thank everyone who is in attendance here, family, friends, coaches, former faculty members, everyone. I hope that you all will have the chance to enjoy more events around campus this weekend. Tonight's great. We've got a whole weekend of activity. Almost 800 people have returned for this weekend's events. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's probably worth a round of applause. Just on a personal note, you know, I was fortunate enough to receive the phone call and asked to become the president at this historic college in the middle of the pandemic. And so I have seen this place come back to life in incredible ways. And when I hear that we have 800 alumni back for our fall gathering, our homecoming, that is the tangible sign of what strength this place has and how terrific it is. So back to this weekend's events. Please don't just do this tonight. Come to the crab feast tomorrow. Go to the alumni games. Go to the varsity games that are taking place. Take a look at what today's students are doing and what they're achieving. There's probably a good chance that you're planning to do that anyway, but I just wanted to put in that plug because all of our athletes are continuing to excel and work so hard to bring honor and distinction to this great institution. And I'd say, at a very minimum, get yourself over to Kirby Field tomorrow, Kirby Stadium, and look at the new Kibler Field. We put in some new turf. I shouldn't say we, I didn't do it, but I rooted them on every single day. And it is an absolutely gorgeous artificial turf. It's going to serve our student athletes for the next decade in really terrific ways. So please take a look at that. Enjoy our student athletes performing there tomorrow. And just know that we continue to know how important it is to invest in athletics programs at this college. They must be strong, they must be robust. They're one of our greatest recruiting tools, one of our greatest retention tools, and they lead to wonderful student satisfaction during their time here. And by the way, athletics teach our students incredible life skills that they put to work right away, as you know. So I couldn't be a bigger supporter of our athletic programs, and I'm excited to watch them grow in the coming years. So in conclusion, enjoy this weekend. I'm so delighted to meet you all who I haven't met yet, to welcome you back, and I hope you have a great full homecoming weekend. And congratulations in advance to all of our honorees. You have really honored us, and I can't wait to hear the citations and see you honored right at this lectern in just a few moments. So thanks, everybody. So glad to have you here.
Okay, so kind of the run of the show for the rest of the evening. I will introduce the inductee, invite you up, and then what we'll do is I will read your citation. We'll take a picture right here with the chairman, myself, and the inductee, and then I'll step aside. You can give your remarks, and then we'll go in the order of these. So I think I have the order right, but we shall see. So without further ado, our first inductee, Jessica McAdams Dolan, class of 2003. Washington College field hockey team to 3 Centennial Conference tournaments and 2 ECAC tournaments during her time here in Chestertown. She still sits 4th on the all-time career assist list with 19 and sits 7th on the most assists in the season list with 8. She participated in 75 games in her career, which has earned her a spot at the top of the total games played list. She also scored 14 career goals wearing a Washington College uniform. She was named an All-Centennial Conference second-team member during her sophomore year and earned All-Centennial Conference first-team honors and first-team All-Region honors her junior year. In the same year, McAdams Dolan was named to the All-American third-team list. And in her final year, McAdams Dolan was named a team captain. Upon graduating with a business management degree, Jessica was a head field hockey coach from 2003 to 2016 and a JV's girls lacrosse coach from 2003 to 2014 at the Glen Elk Country School. In 2003, she earned the Washington Post All-Howard County Field Hockey Coach of the Year award. At Glen Elk Country School in 2014, her role expanded into the Assistant Athletic Director title, which she held until 2022, where she was named the Co-Director of Athletics. So, Washington College considers it an honor and a privilege to induct Jessica McAdams Dolan into the Athletic Hall of Fame this 27th day of September 2024.
That's my speech over here.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to first start by thanking President Sisolsky, Thad Moore, and the Hall of Fame committee for this incredible honor. Congratulations to my fellow inductee class. I'm now humbled to be a part of the ranks of so many Washington College athletics, members of the athletics community who have made such an impact over the years. I am forever grateful for my experience here at Washington College as a member of the class of 2003 and a 4-year member of the field hockey team. It wasn't always easy, but it prepared me well for the path I would lead after leaving Chestertown. I used to joke that my major was field hockey, but the lessons I learned in my real major, business management, would serve me well in my years as co-director of athletics at Glen Elk Country School. While my work ethic at my classes should have been better, the school always supported me through the ups and downs. I don't know what I would have done without Sarah Firehurm looking out for me. Thank you, Sarah, for assigning me a study hall in the classroom of Kane Gymnasium during basketball season. Somehow, my girl Erin and I managed to pick up the slack in the classroom while also enjoying the view of the afternoon boys basketball practices. But all kidding aside, Sarah never gave up on me, and it still means so much. Thank you, Sarah. I love field hockey. And thanks to the sport of field hockey, I found myself. I've never felt more myself than I did playing field hockey with my teammates, and then going back to my dorm room with my roommates and friends. I could be myself at Washington College, and I found people who embraced who I was and helped me be the best version of myself before I left campus, and who have continued to support me over 20 years later. These fine ladies who are here tonight in the back are not only my teammates, they are my sisters. While some of us have lost touch over the years here and there, marriage, motherhood, and family loss, and field hockey have kept us connected in the ways that have made us closer now than I think that we were then. I am so grateful for girls' weekends, small meetups, and group texts, although sometimes 42 missed texts in an hour while at work from 7 people is a bit daunting. But these fine field hockey ladies were only a part of my Washington College family. I'm lucky to have been a Division III student athlete because I had the opportunity to be more than just a field hockey player. I was able to create many friendships outside of my team and classes. My best friend, who's here tonight, didn't even play a sport here, but she's still one of my biggest supporters as I am hers. I was able to know fellow inductee Brianne and members of the crew team, one of whom decided he liked me enough to marry me, and somehow he still puts up with me 22 years later and is currently trying to keep our 3-year-old from a meltdown. I want to say my final and most important thank you to my mother. I would not be here today if it wasn't for her. It wasn't always clear to me then as a college student as it is now in my adulthood how much my mom sacrificed to give me this opportunity at a strong education, chance to play the sport I loved, and to be independent. The years she spent working 7 days a week while supporting my grandparents through illness and grief, I know were hard for her. Mom, I strive to be as strong and loving and supportive of Thomas and Samuel as you are for me. Thank you for this gift, Hall of Fame Mom. I am so thankful to have all of you guys here in my life and here tonight to honor me and share in this moment. As a female athlete, I am grateful for those who fought to make Title IX a reality, and I hope we will continue to put an emphasis on the value of women's sports and how now and for the daughters of our future. Thank you.
I just want to say, Sarah Firenham, thank you very much. I think that might be the quietest I've ever heard that group. So I think it was a strategic move having you at that table. So, next, Katie Brzezowski Prince, class of 2001. Katie Brzezowski holds school records in both basketball and volleyball. As a middle blocker and outside hitter, Katie currently holds a school record in career kills with 1,286. Because of her success on the volleyball court, she is 5th in blocks with 245, 6th in digs with 1,117, and 17th in aces with 157. Katie also led Washington College to its second Centennial Conference basketball tournament in 1999. During her time with the basketball team, she tallied 1,065 points, 6th in school history. Sits at number 4 in rebounds and steals with 780 and 165 respectively, and is 7th in scoring average and field goal percentage with 11.3 points per game and 42% shooting. During her senior year in 2001, she averaged a double-double of 12.5 points and 10.5 rebounds. She is also a 2-time All-Centennial Conference honorable mention and was named to the second team All-Conference in her last season. Katie graduated from Washington College in 2001 with a degree in economics and a business management and psychology minors. During her time here in Chestertown, she was also a member of the Alpha Chi National College Honor Society. Post-graduation, Katie has been a management fund accountant and lead accountant for a legal firm. She is also a member of the national volleyball team, enjoys swimming, snorkeling, scuba diving, and sailing, and also volunteers for the local Rotary Club. Washington College considers it an honor and a privilege to induct Katie into the Athletic Hall of Fame this 27th day of September 2024.
Thank you especially to the president and to A.D. Moore here, who he and I go way back, and we might be hitting the training room at the end of this. Thank you to the wonderful staff as well, from the catering staff that started putting this together about 7 a.m. in this humidity, and everyone else involved. But before I get into how much I enjoyed my time here on the court, I just want to give a quick shout out to the late, great Dr. Bailey, who was the head of the economics department when I was here, and to my econ and business management professors who gave me the tools to have a great career for over 2 decades in finance and accounting. What I learned got me a great job when I graduated in financial management, specifically structured products like interest rate swaps, arbitrage rebate calculation. I'm losing you already, I get it, it's very boring. Which is why my now husband Andrew Prinz and I left the country about 2 years after we graduated. We ended up in the Caribbean. We moved to Grand Cayman first, and I was bartending on the beach. He was selling jewelry to the tourists. Unfortunately, they had a storm. We had to leave, and we ended up in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where we live to this day. Again, I was trying to bartend, but this education just follows you everywhere. And I've been offered great opportunities. Thad just listed a few of them. I've just been very fortunate to be able to use my education in the field of study, which honestly, as we all know, you get a degree and sometimes you end up in a completely different field. So since then, I've had many athletic opportunities. He mentioned I was able to play on the Virgin Islands national volleyball team. We went to the Caribbean Championships in Barbados, and though we didn't medal, I was about 28 at the time and just thrilled to get it. So we looked for Rihanna's house, we didn't find it. That being said, I chose a small historic college in a beautiful town that my father, and my mom is here as well, absolutely loved. From the first day we drove down from Pennsylvania, we fell in love with this town, we fell in love with our teammates, we fell in love with the classmates and everything else about it. And if anyone here is old enough to remember me on the playing field, I know we're reaching back a bit, I played the game here with a big, dumb grin on my face. I had such a good time here. My teammates were wonderful, the coaches were wonderful. And I just can't thank you enough. Absolutely, the opportunities that I've been afforded, on and off the court, I'm very grateful, I'm very fortunate, and I thank you all for being here and for listening. Have a wonderful night.
Katie, I don't want you to talk about it. I haven't been here that long. So, our next inductee, Ross Coleman, class of 87. Ross Coleman was an integral part of the Washington College tennis program in the 80s. He was a member of the team from 1984 through 1987 and was instrumental in the development of the program as a whole. In 1986, Coleman and his doubles partner won the Mid-Atlantic Doubles Championship. This win aided the team in winning back-to-back Middle Atlantic Conference Championships in 86 and 87. In the same year of 87, Coleman and his team reached the Final Four and ended the season ranked third in the nation. Coleman graduated that same year with a degree in business. Ross Coleman's contributions to the men's tennis program went beyond the court and beyond his graduation date. He served the program as a friend, fan, mentor, and recruiter, and was a crucial part in obtaining numerous future All-Americans and Hall of Famers to come play in Chestertown. Coleman continued his passion for tennis through coaching. He became a teaching pro and has been the director of tennis at the Suburban Club in Baltimore for the last 16 years. He founded the Hawkeye Tennis Academy in 1991, which has seen more than 70 of its players go on to have great college careers. Ross Coleman has coached at 10 Grand Slams and is currently coaching pro Sophie Chang. Outside of tennis, Ross also has a passion for photography and wildlife, and has even played in a local band as a drummer for 30 years. Washington College considers it an honor and a privilege to induct Ross Coleman into the Athletic Hall of Fame this 27th day of September 2024.
You guys are awesome. Thank you. So this really is unbelievable for me. I really never couldn't have imagined I'd be up here at the Hall of Fame induction dinner. There are just so many deserving people. So to be here, it is such an honor. First and most importantly, I'd like to thank God for guiding me and giving me the opportunity to be here today. I'd also like to congratulate all of this year's inductees. I know these Hall of Fame athletes and their accomplishments at Washington College truly define how special they are and how special this school is. I would also like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me as one of this year's Hall of Fame inductees. I am truly humbled and know that I'm surrounded by superior student athletes from the past and those to come in the future. Okay, 80 and many moons ago, many I think, I was fighting like mad just to hold a spot at the tennis team at the University of Maryland. We had just won the ACC regular season title, lost in the finals of the ACC tournament, and I was struggling to get playing time. Just as my hopes were rising that I would get more involved, 2 transfers announced they were coming to Maryland, along with the incoming freshmen, and I knew my playing time would be limited again. So somehow, with the push of the universe, I was introduced to Coach Fred Wyman at a tennis tournament here in Chestertown. Fred suggested I transfer to Washington College. He convinced me that with all my tennis skills and the right ingredients, Washington College would definitely make a dent in the tennis world and compete for a national title. Fred used the analogy, would you rather be a small fish in a big pond or a big fish in a small pond? I was definitely on board with that. I knew the team had awesome guys, but we needed some bigger fish and maybe a few sharks. Regardless, with Fred's persuasiveness, which I'm sure you all are very familiar with, I decided to transfer to Washington College. But when I got here, I thought to myself, what in the heck am I doing here? I mean, the courts were cracked, the lines faded, the fences rusted, and they had huge holes in the fences. And there was nowhere to play in the wintertime, and I thought, oh wow, I made a huge mistake. I am so out of here. I was sure I was going to return to Maryland because I didn't think Washington College was going to meet my tennis dreams. So Fred almost passed out when I told him. He was speechless, which we all know is pretty much impossible. This is where my father stepped in. He told me, Ross, you're staying at Washington College. You made a commitment, you'll stick to your word, and you'll give them a chance. Period. So with that, I decided to try to help with the necessary ingredients. I knew we were going to need some major help, a significant overhaul. So I went back to University of Maryland to convince some of my teammates that were in similar circumstances to join me in Chestertown. Fred, as usual, brilliant in convincing these players to attend Washington College and help build a national championship team. Holly, of course, always there. Fred even flew his plane over to the University of Maryland to pick up one of the players and fly him back to Chestertown. And I'm going to tell you, the flight, which I experienced firsthand, was almost the end of the Washington College tennis team right there. I don't know if you saw the movie Castaway. Remembering the dramatic plane crash scene? Well, this was a reenactment. And Claudio Gonzalez and I, we were the co-stars. Anyway, this is just one of many crazy experiences that happened while building the tennis team, most of which I can't repeat and probably shouldn't even be written about. Tim? Tim Gray? Tim? I won't even begin. Anyway, the rest is history. That initial team was awesome. Dave Marshall, Claudio Gonzalez, Tim Gray, Paul Bress, Dolan Clark, David Dill, Brian Bishop, myself, and others were highly dedicated and worked so hard to put Washington College on the tennis map. One funny note is that one of the players on the team, the previous team, said to Fred, "Hey, I see all these great players you're bringing in. You know, some of us still want to have fun." Fred said, "Well, you know, we're not playing for fun anymore." Well, it's a different kind of fun. Since then, we've had several national championships, dozens of All-Americans, numerous Hall of Fame inductees. My father, Stan Coleman, was the seed that started the growth of this truly amazing story of tennis at Washington College. So I must thank him for instilling in me his strong moral obligation and integrity. Thank you. This would have never happened without him. Remarkably, though, so many Washington College graduates have successfully gone on in the tennis world to reach amazing heights. I've been fortunate enough to coach at 10 Grand Slams and guide many players to reach their goals in collegiate tennis. From college coaching to professional tennis, the Washington College graduates and their commitment have made a huge mark in the tennis world. I mean, it's just remarkable. And I told Fred when I graduated how important it was for me for the program to continue and maintain its strong presence in the NCAA. It really is a remarkable story that should be told on a national scale one day. But now I want to thank Fred Wyman. I have never, ever met someone so dedicated and with such vision. The way he built this program and the way he treated us and cared about us as a team and family is something no one could have ever accomplished except him. He built a national powerhouse. We were family. We played as a family. We lived as a family and laughed. We learned as a family, and that was the ingredient necessary for the Washington College tennis program to thrive. Fred, I love you and thank you with all of my heart. The lessons I've learned at Washington College are invaluable, and I have hopefully, over the years, passed these lessons on to my students, some who have gone on to play here at Washington College. Again, thanks so much to everyone who was here to support me, and I feel truly, truly blessed. More importantly, none of this would have been possible without the support of my teammates and other friends who really stepped up and made the case for me to be here today. There are no words to express how grateful I am to have friends that stand behind me with such passion and conviction. My heart goes out to you. And lastly, I want to mention that whatever your spiritual beliefs are, sometimes God's ways are not our ways, which I found out. But if you stay in faith, trust the process, and strive to be your best, miracles like the Washington College tennis program can and do manifest. Thank you so much.
Megan Morse, class of 2008. Megan Morse collected 12 Centennial Conference medals during her time with the swimming program here at Washington College. The All-American Honorable Mention athlete held multiple records at the time of her graduation, and her name remains strong in the records book today. At the time of her graduation in 2009, Megan held the school record in the 100-meter freestyle. Today she sits at number 3 on that list. She is 4th all-time in the 200 freestyle, 6th all-time in the 500 freestyle, and sits 8th all-time for the 200 IM. She medaled at the Centennial Conference Swimming Championship 12 times, earning 3 individual golds, 2 individual silvers, 1 individual bronze, 1 relay gold, 2 relay silvers, and 3 relay bronze medals.
That's impressive.
During her time in Chestertown, Megan also collected 8 All-Centennial Conference honors. These honors consisted of 3 first-team individual, 1 first-team relay, 2 individual honorable mentions, and 2 honorable mention relay. Megan was awarded the 2008 Senior Athletic Award at the end of the year, which is an award given out by the Washington College Athletic Department to the senior that produced the most athletic achievement during their time in the Washington College uniform. Upon graduating with an English degree in 2009, Megan has served 11 years with the Maryland Judiciary Committee and is currently Deputy Director of Administrative Services for the District Court of Maryland. Washington College considers it an honor and a privilege to induct Megan into the Athletic Hall of Fame this 27th day of September 2024.
I didn't write anything down. I was just going to wing it, so that makes my mom very nervous. I want to thank the committee. It's an honor to be nominated and inducted here tonight. My time here at Washington College meant so much to me. I was a transfer student, and I spent 4 years here after transferring after my freshman year, because I lost some credits there. But my time on the swim team was invaluable to me. I'd like to thank my family and friends who are here tonight, some of my teammates, my family. I'd also like to mention a few people who are not here tonight. I can't look at my mom. Mainly my dad, who passed away in 2019. He was a big proponent of sports, always encouraging me in swimming. I'm told swimming was his first love. I believe lacrosse became his ultimate love because of my sister. But he always discussed leadership and dedication with me, and I think that played a big part in the career I had here at Washington College, and since then as well. I'd also like to thank Kim Lassard, who played a very large role in encouraging me to attend Washington College. Kim knew me from the time that I was probably 10 years old. Swimming, I grew up in Easton. I swam in the summers for the Showman Club team. And Washington College was my first sleepaway camp. So that's how I came to know Kim. And when I was looking for a place to land after a difficult time at Gettysburg, she reached out to me and said, you know, I think Washington College would be a great fit, and it was. And so I want to thank her for giving me a chance. She did give me chances while I was here, but I want to thank her from the bottom of my heart. Like I said, Washington College meant a lot to me, and I'm so honored to be here tonight, so thank you very much.
Not bad for winging it.
Tom George, class of 1973. Tom George is one of the best attackmen to enter into the Washington College Athletic Hall of Fame. George is listed at 10th in all-time points for the program with 188. He also holds the 9th spot for career assists with 77. Tom George is 5th in points in the season thanks to his stellar season in 1972, where he recorded 51 goals and 31 assists. For that same season, he sits at 10th all-time for goals in the season. He also sits 8th in assists in the game with 6 against Franklin Marshall in 1972. In 1971, his sophomore year, George scored at least 1 point in every game and finished the season with 17 goals and 17 assists. In 4 USILA tournament games, George collected 24 points off of 13 goals and 11 assists. His team was ranked 12th at the end of the season and advanced all the way to the playoff final, but fell to Corbin. Tom George was a two-time third-team All-American, earning the honor in his last 2 years at Washington College in '72 and '73. Upon graduation, Tom George was drafted to try out for the Professional Box League Maryland Arrows. He then played club lacrosse for Chesapeake Lacrosse Club and returned to the club as head coach in 1981. He earned the Duke Hart Award in 1977 for the perpetuation of lacrosse spirit through discipline, dedication, and teamwork. George went on to become a vice president of regional banks for BB&T, the company with whom he retired from. Washington College considers it an honor and a privilege to induct Tom George into the Athletic Hall of Fame this 27th day of September 2022.
Thank you. Let's try to get tuned up here. How's that?
Good.
I'm honored and so happy to be inducted into the Washington College Athletics Hall of Fame. The WC community has been so good to me, but I'm here for just one reason. Because our team, and I emphasize team, was so darn good. And here's our story. I developed a passion for lacrosse as a boy growing up in Towson with two older brothers. The area was a hotbed for lacrosse, and I started playing in organized leagues at age 11. As a Towson high school player in the late 60s, I became aware of older Towson area students who had chosen to attend Washington College. As a high school senior in 1969, I won some awards, so I was recruited by some good schools. I became fascinated by the reputation that's little, tiny, small WC. Small Washington College in Chestertown had in both academics and lacrosse. I ended up choosing WC because it had a strong national ranking in lacrosse, number 5 in 1967. A strong schedule, a great overall reputation, and great personalities like athletic director Ed Athey and Coach Don Kelly. Also, it was near enough to my home in Towson, and because the school was so small, freshmen were eligible to play at the varsity level, and not spend a year playing on the freshman team. Things went very well in my freshman year. I started every game. I scored at least 1 point in every game. A strong memory was scoring the first goal of the season against UNC on my first touch as a college player. Another great memory was playing against my brother in an 8-5 victory over Syracuse. However, being a student in 1970, meant the Vietnam War was never far from in your mind. It was never out of your mind. As a matter of fact, the team canceled an away game against Hofstra. Some of us went to Washington, D.C. to participate in anti-war student protests instead. But overall, even though our record was only 4-6, I was thrilled to be playing varsity lacrosse at a quality school like WC against competition like Hopkins, Navy, UNC, W&L, Duke, Towson, Syracuse, etc. My sophomore year was more of the same with a lackluster record of 4-10. I think our low point came when we lost to Bucknell. But fortunately, although we didn't know it, our future was brighter than we thought. We knew we were returning our whole team. Our team was only 28 players at that time. We knew everybody was coming back, and we had a great group of guys who all got along. Nobody needed any special treatment. Our coach, Don Kelly, was the real deal. A true star at the collegiate level at Hopkins, and then on the 1921 Olympic lacrosse team in Los Angeles. He knew lacrosse better than anybody. Affable and friendly, but with a fierce competitiveness. He knew he had a great group with us, but he knew we were young and needed to mature. We developed a great chemistry based on mutual respect. He knew what we were good at, and he made us great at it. He drilled us incessantly on extra man offense and fast breaks. Those two facets of the game became our trademark. Our opponents knew it was coming, but they couldn't stop it. 1972 was my junior year. The team started off with a tremendous win against Yale, and we've just kept rolling, losing only to Hopkins, Navy, and W&L. All tight games, except for Navy. Our regular season record was 9-3, and we made the first ever championship, USILA championship playoff tournament. We won 3 tough playoff games on the road before ultimately falling to Hobart 15-12 in the championship, also on the road. During that playoff run, we had incredible support from the entire WC community, including students, faculty, local townspeople, etc. Our most intense game was against rival Towson in the semifinal in order to advance to the championship. The Towson coach had made comments in the local newspaper describing that he would, quote, get sick if WC came up here and beat us. The game ended with WC fans chanting, "Run, get sick! Run, get sick!" That team ended the season ranked number 10 nationally by the Baltimore Sun, and many of our players received postseason honors. I personally had my best year, scoring 51 goals and 31 assists. Mostly off of the aforementioned extra man offensive fast breaks. 1973, my senior year, played out pretty much as we expected. Like the previous year, the team advanced to the 1973 USILA Championship. We avenged regular season tough losses against Towson and BU in dramatic playoff wins. Unfortunately, ultimately, we lost the final against Cortland 13-8. Researching this information prompted me to read a lot of newspaper clippings from those seasons. In doing so, I realized how many of them were written by Hurt Derringer, the school's sports information director, local sports editor, and lacrosse devotee. I'd forgotten what a fine writer he was and how his description of the games were so accurate. I'm so glad I have these, and I would like to dedicate this presentation to Hurt Derringer. Thanks for the memories. To get inducted into the Hall of Fame, you need to be proposed and vetted by a committee and voted on. I am grateful to them. My application was delayed a few years by COVID and the recession. And then but then I had teammates who reviewed the process. Barry Drew, Greg Lane, Brian Matthews, Mike Cordray, Jay Elliott, Peter Boggs, and Bob Schreiber wrote a letter on my behalf to get the process moving again. These 7 guys are all guys who played with me between 1970 and 1973. As the years have gone by, all of them have also been inducted into the Lacrosse Hall of Fame. When it became apparent that my application package had been bogged down, they collectively sent a letter to the committee to revive it. This is what I mean. This is what I mean when I say this team was built on mutual respect. Then, when the process slowed again, none other than John Cheek stepped up and used his influence and advocated for me, and got back on track. About 1 year after he did that, here we are. So I'll be grateful for that forever. I'm eternally grateful to all these guys for their persistence and thoughtfulness on my behalf in the 1970s and today. Their team spirit survives the years, and in this case, I'm the lucky beneficiary. Good luck to the 2025 showmen in their coming season. I know you will make memories to last a lifetime.
Brianne Reynolds Robin, class of 2003. Brianne Brenelson still remains a member of the fastest boat in school history. In 2001, Brianne was part of the women's four that finished fourth of 58 boats at the head of the Charles rowing event. Her boat was first among all college boats to finish the race. In 2002, the team was ranked first in the Mid-Atlantic and seventh in the nation, and was one of only Division III boats competing in the Varsity 8 final at the 2002 Murphy Cup. Brenelson is one of 15 women rowers in Washington College history who was named to an All-American team. She was named second team member in 2002. Brianne received the Thomas Redder Spedding Medal in 2002. The medal is the Washington College Athletic Department Award gifted to a senior student athlete for their outstanding achievement in athletics and academics. In addition to the medal, Brianne also earned the Doris T. Bell Award, which is given out to the female student athlete that holds the highest GPA. Upon her graduation in 2002 with a degree in psychology, Brianne earned her master's degree and has been working with the Department of Defense since 2005. Washington College considers it an honor and a privilege to induct Brianne Brenelson into the Athletic Hall of Fame this 27th day of September 2022.
Follow a standing ovation, so that's hard. I just want to say thank you to the president and to the athletic department, and the Hall of Fame committee. It's an honor to be here, and it's been an amazing evening so far. And it's awesome to be recognized among so many awesome alumni. So it's cool to be here with people I know. I wouldn't be here today accepting this honor without the support of my parents, who would have guessed that signing me up for that crew camp when I was in 8th grade would lead to this? But being a mom, now I know that was just to get me out of her hair for the summer, right? It was eons ago, but it led me here, and thanks for driving me to practices and out of the state for crew practices. and allowing me to come 3,000 miles across the country. We're from Portland, Oregon, so it's quite a ways to come to go to college without ever seeing the college. My aunt actually came and met the coach and said, "You'll love it there." And the only reason I decided to apply was because of a rowing brochure of the crew team out on the Chester River. And I saw it, and back in 1997, you got brochures. So it was a brochure of a rowing team. I was like, yeah, I'll apply there. And here we are. I really want to say thank you for all the trust that you've put in me throughout the years and the confidence and independence that you guys have given me. It has allowed me to succeed here and throughout my life. So thank you. I gotta say thank you to Coach Davenport. He's not here tonight, but he was one of the first, I don't know why, but when I first came to Washington College, I wrote Bree on my application, and my name is Breanne, but everyone calls me Bree, everybody knows me Bree, and Mike Davenport was the reason for that. I was Bree the first day of practice, and his guidance and support really helped drive me to be a better person, athlete, and it really grew my love for the sport. And also my love of leading. I also worked for him for 2 years as a JV rowing coach here while I got my master's, and he was a great person to follow and to watch as I moved into my own career after I graduated. Crew is truly a team sport. It's a lot of women in a boat rowing with a common goal. No one position is more important than the other. Except for one, the coxswain, because they help you. They keep you from crashing into things, right, and steer the boat. But through the grueling winter erg practices, there's a couple ladies here who know what I'm talking about. We were in the basement, leaking pipes. It was hot, and we were rowing on ergs for hours at a time. So from those grueling erg practices down there to baking baked ziti in Cocoa Beach, Florida for spring break, we just formed a really special bond that's lasted over 20 years now. So I am so honored that they're here to spend this evening with me tonight. It's an honor. Even though we're here for athletics, WAC was also the first place I learned to really love learning. Anybody who had a class with Dr. Spillage, I was in his elective class, Mapping the Mind, and that was my first class, and man, his zeal and excitement for learning, for teaching, just inspired me and made me want to be involved in the psychology department, which is what I ended up going. So he is one of the reasons I truly believe that I succeeded here academically. He loved to invite you in to do experiments with him. I did do one experiment with him where I got to drink a lot of vodka and orange juice and drive a simulated car. It was a pretty good experience. It was, if that doesn't get your interest in psychology, I don't know what. Lastly, obviously, I want to thank my husband and my daughter for being here tonight. Trevor and Emma. It's actually her 5th birthday tonight, so I had to share the day with her. There's no better way to spend your day, right? But I wouldn't, have it anyway, and I hope that her seeing me up here today, accepting this honor, she will remember it and she'll understand and hopefully grow that and know that, following your passion, dedicating yourself and doing hard work can get you a lot of places. And so I really appreciate that, and I hope she sees that. She's probably running around here not even paying attention. She can watch the video. But it's truly an honor, and I appreciate everybody who's here to support all the inductees, and thanks so much.
Okay, so 2 things I learned, well, 3 things, because she was always Bree to me as well, but I call her Breanne tonight. So that was 1. 2, I think Dr. Spillage now has lost his emeritus status. So, and then if my math correct. Sounds like in 13 years we're going to have a rowing recruit coming back here to Washington College. So that's great. Well, again, as a wrap up here, two other people that I want to thank. Obviously, the caterers, ABI does a great job with the food and the dining services. So thank you all for ABI. Speaking, please. Leveraging technology, Charlotte does a tremendous job, allows us to stream and also keep this up, and it's posted on our YouTube. So obviously this, you can watch it as many times as you want to watch. Fred watches it yearly, every day. But no, this is the time tonight where I just say a few brief words. I want you to get out there and celebrate with your family and your classmates and your accomplishments. But it's hard for me to believe, and Katie's not lying, like we do go way back. So it's as you age and as you get older, but this is why we do it. This is why Washington College does these types of events. This is just the first of many this weekend. And to see this tent filled at capacity, 800 former students coming back, it is a special place. It's not like this everywhere. In the athletic department, we strive every day to make you proud to be an alum from Washington College and be an alumni and an athlete from Washington College. So we're going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to strive to get better. We're growing. There's a lot of exciting things coming in the future, I promise you. President Sosolski's has been a great champion of athletics and the value of having both athletics in the classroom but also out in their competitive environments to help drive Washington College's enrollment and get us back to the thriving institution that we know we will be in the very near future. So again, I love having you all back. I always have great special days throughout the year. This is one of them. All right, being able to see a lot of them, and again, as I get older, most of the inductees I know. All right, for better or worse sometimes. So, but it all depends. So, but as I get to see everybody again and see how they're doing and see their young family. I had a little 3-year-old tell me he loved me tonight. So, but it's great, and seeing some of you that I haven't seen since graduation. And I always say this: come back. All right, we need you to be involved in this. We need you, and again, to be there to support our current student athletes. If we pick up the phone and say, hey Jess, I have somebody that's crazy enough who thinks they want to be a high school administrator, can you talk to them? I know Jess would say, yeah, they're crazy, but yeah, I'll absolutely have a conversation. Those to me mean more than anything that you can do financially. All right, having the ability to call somebody and say, hey look, this young man or this young woman reminds me of you when you were their age. Can you talk to them? They want to do what you're doing. And to have that relationship and that ability and to always be willing to say, happy to do it. That's what's special about Washington College. And that's what we can leverage. So again, a lot of great things going on this weekend, but come back. All right, we try to do athletically, just speaking strictly for athletically, we try to do big events once a semester. But we have our fall teams have alumni games in the spring. Our spring teams have alumni games in the fall. So we have it around one day to try to drive people back to catch up. Hopefully some of you, hopefully it's not the case, but some of you may not have seen each other for 15 years, all right? Well, make an excuse to try to make it a regular thing. Get back here on the shore where things are going to slow down a little bit and you can reminisce a little bit. So again, congratulations to all 6 of our inductees. So well earned, so well deserved. Go out, celebrate with your family, friends, embrace it, enjoy the rest of the weekend. And if there's anything we can ever do, please don't hesitate to pick up the phone, shoot me an email, and give me a call and let me know how we can help. So thank you all very much. Appreciate it. I knew it because it was right there.
I didn't feel it at all.
So inductees, you do have your plaques over there are for you to take home. So the plaques there that are in the entryway